Hello and welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. My name is Julie Hogbin and I am the creator of the 3 weekly episodes that are produced: Wealth Wednesday, the A to Z of Business on Friday, and a longer content piece or interview on a Monday. If you like what you hear, please share this podcast if you think it would support and help somebody else. Romance fraud. It's really been speaking to me over the last couple of days. Randomly, when I'm eating breakfast, I'd turn the TV on, which I never do. And 2 days on the trot, turned the TV on and saw a programme with Kim Marsh of the Coronation Street and that band Fame. I can't remember what that is at the minute. And she and a guy are investigating romance fraud because it is big business. It's huge business. And they have, within that programme, I've seen one elderly gentleman get scammed for £150,000 by a woman who actually lives not far from where I'm currently living. Obviously, they didn't share her name. And 2 other women who were actually on the programme. One who had lost her husband after 50 years marriage, got scammed for something like 80,000. And another woman who was looking for love got scammed for a lot of money. And I can't remember the figure, or they didn't disclose it. And then blow me down. I go onto Facebook this afternoon and somebody's commented on one of my comments on a comment I put on one of Rob Moore's posts, lives, saying what a beautiful smile I had, and if I wanted, and he wasn't going to insult me by messaging me, and if I wanted to be his friend, please send him a friend message. So I go to his profile, I look at his profile, no friends, no pictures, no history, no data, no nothing. Just a picture of a sort of I suppose depends what you like, an attractive man, my sort of age-ish. And I thought, bugger my old boots. I have to do a live on this because this is rife. I put a post on LinkedIn last night, so it's my last post on LinkedIn about romance fraud and the consequences of it and how they operate. Oh dear. And it makes me very angry because what happens is they get you at your lowest ebb. They will do their research on you. It is a job. It is a role for people. They earn thousands of pounds out of this. And some people do it on their own, so it's a single person. There are couples doing it. This guy that got defrauded the person lives relatively local to me. It was her partner who defrauded him of £150,000, and when the police raided where they lived, there were Gucci watches, Louis Vuitton handbags, designer shoes. So they'd spent the money on stuff that was just stacked up in a room they were living in. Looked a bit like an HMO, actually, for those of you that are in property. So I wrote the post yesterday and I thought, I really need to do something, because now I've just seen this post on Rob Moore's video, which has just, I'm like, really? So what is it? Romance fraud. The individuals that conduct the fraud, and it is a fraud without a doubt, and it is intentional, focus on people who are vulnerable. And when I say vulnerable, I'm going to say people who are either lonely, they may be looking for love, they may have been recently bereaved. So there is a lot of emotional stuff going on for the individual. They're not looking for people who are, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you are. And I'm going to say this because I know I've spoken to 2 other women recently who have been scammed and have paid money across, because they were looking for love. They wanted a relationship. Now, of course, I'd probably talk to more women than men, but it happens to both sexes. It happens to all people. And you don't have to be, I'm going to say anything. In fact, in some instances, you're probably more likely to be scammed if you run your own business, and if on your profiles they can see that you're single, or not attached, or you run your own business, and they'll just send you messages in the back channels, always in the back channels. You will probably never ever meet these people, because by meeting them they become real. Now, I know that's not always the case, and I was thinking about this today. You may meet somebody who is scamming. I do know one individual who was scammed, again, a gentleman, and it was by somebody he had met who came in to help him, to support him within his home. And he basically gave that particular woman a lot of jewellery, and that was someone very close to me. But generally what happens, it will be online. So they'll contact you through the back channel. They will get to know you and they will profess their liking for you, or their intention of giving you the life that you wish. And they will get to know the life that you wish by reading your profile, looking at what you do. It is a very intelligent scam. Now, it can be a single person doing it, it can be a couple doing it, or it can be a group of people doing it. Now, if you never get to meet them, and they may give you an address where they live, check it out, because they will not be available to meet. It will all be online. The majority of it will be online. If they give you an address, check it out. If you're getting slightly different messages, so they're slightly written slightly differently, be assured there's a group of them, and they just take it in rote, because sometimes I suppose they've got to sleep, but it'll be 24/7 almost. There will always be a reason they can't meet. Now, that might be because they have got stuck at customs. That might be because their bank cards have not worked properly. That might be because their business has failed. That might mean because they've got a tax claim. It might mean that they've lost a credit card. It might be that a business meeting has been cancelled and they've got to stay abroad for another week or 2 weeks or whatever. There will always be a reason they can't meet, or they will come back to the UK and the plane gets cancelled, and then they've got to book another flight and they've got to stay for another week. So many stories. So please, if you are out there and you have got this going on for you, stop it. Stop it now. Look at why they are doing what they're doing to you, and it will be because you are looking for something. You're looking for love, you're looking for attention, you're lonely, you want a friend. They will profess to be your friend. So I'm on Clubhouse. I have had numerous messages in the back channel over the last couple of weeks from men, no profiles, no followers. They are following thousands, but no profile, no followers, professing they want to be my friend. They will then ask me what I do and where I live. It is all in my profile. They do not need to ask that question. So if you think about how you engage with people and how you would make friends with someone, you would do a little bit, especially online, you would probably read their profile. You would probably look at who they are. You would probably make an approach that says, oh, I see you're into blah, 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 whatever it is. So am I. Can we have a conversation? So you have something in common. If they're not even reading your profile, then I wouldn't even give them the benefit of the doubt, to be honest. Now, I come from trust, and I'll tell you a bit of a story about this in a minute, but I come from trust, so I inherently trust people. I have learned not to trust messages in the back channel unless they're, like the sales messages that you get that are just on a bot, on a spam. But from somebody professing to want to be my friend, nah, they're not going to get through that filter. If they're on a social media platform and there is no profile, no pictures, no, they're not going to get through the filter. Now, what these scammers do, they take photos. So they'll take a photo of a true person, because we've all got our photos online, or the majority of us have. They'll take a photo of a true person. They then and they're always good looking. They'll put that as their profile picture, so they are attractive. then they will borrow stories. They will make up families. They will make up illnesses. They will make up all sorts of stuff that is feasible. They get to know you and they know what attracts you to people because you'll talk about it in your everyday type. Sometimes you'll get phone calls. Listen to the accents. Listen to how they're talking. Please do not believe them if they're professing to want to be your friend and then they start asking money. So I would never give money to anybody online. And I did say this in the post on LinkedIn. Even when you think about it, don't give money to people you have met because you don't know who they are. Do not give money to people online over line. Now, these two cases I've seen just recently, one of them went on for 8 years. They took a load of money off of this particular individual, left her alone for a while from what I can appear, and then they've come back for more money. Now, what they will do, if you ask them questions, they will probably threaten you in some way. They will say that they'll accuse you of not loving them. They'll accuse you of not liking them. They'll accuse you of not wanting to help them. They will accuse you of all sorts. Don't believe it. It is manipulation at its best. It is people using emotional blackmail to get you to do what they want. This is huge. If you're in the UK, report it to the police. If you're just and whether you're in the UK or not, report it to the police. But in the UK, there are police departments set up to deal with this because it is such big fraud. On social media, block them. Report them to the platform, block them, and you may help somebody else not getting caught. I'm regularly doing it currently. There's a lot going on. And think about this, it's coming up to Christmas. Think about this, we're just coming out of lockdown. Think about this, there are more people disconnected and lonely than probably ever before on this planet. Think about yourself and how you're feeling. Think about your emotional churnings within inside and what's going on for you. Be strong. Please be strong. Please do not get caught by this. I know I'm having a bit of a rant and I know I haven't done a live for ages and what one to come back on. What is it? Romance fraud. Well, what a live to come back onto with Facebook. And it is going to go on to the Conscious Leadership podcast. There's a lot of episodes on that if you want to subscribe, follow, whatever. Especially if you're in management leadership, you work with people. Please share this. Please ask me any questions you want to ask me about this. And one of the reasons, and I'll just say this as a very final thing, I'm a really sensible individual. I'm very logical. I'm almost non-emotional at times. I've worked hard on working out where my emotions lie. And now part of me today was like, oh, why have I learned about emotions? Anyway, I'm laughing. But a few years ago, I nearly got caught on an online scam from a man who was working in the oil industry and lived in Canary Wharf. And there was something going on in the messaging, and I'm polite, I'm pleasant, I'm a nice individual, I don't want to upset people. Lots of us are very similar. I'm kind, I love people. And I nearly got caught, and it was for $3,500. Now, that was a number of years ago. It was a good number of years ago. But I nearly got caught because in that moment, I had decided I wanted to be in a relationship. So I had put myself back out there. Now, I have no idea what algorithms they've got and whether they check anything, or I don't even know whether I was on a dating site at the time. No idea. But I nearly got caught. And then it was something to do with a cat. I can tell you the story later. Something to do with a cat. I thought, what on earth are they talking about? I don't live in Canary Wharf. And that triggered. But I had got lulled into that sense of somebody actually wanted to be with me. And they were such a handsome individual. I even researched the oil industry to find them. It was all a complete lie. I mean, like, you would not believe a complete lie. Anyway, I'm going to finish this because I need to go on to a call. But if anybody's got any questions, please, please, please ask, because this is vitally important we get this message out, especially coming up to this time of year when the loneliness is going to kick in, probably even more for people. But on a happy note, have a fabulous evening wherever you are, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Conscious Leadership Podcast. If you have any questions, please contact me on any one of the social media channels. I'm on most of them, including Clubhouse and YouTube, and my books are on Amazon. If you would like a topic discussed, please tell me. And if you have found this information useful, please share and please leave a review.